Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Happy Friday, everybody. We are continuing on with the lovebird today. Hi there, Jamie. Good morning. Happy 5 months. Oh, yes, I'm sure I remembered the anniversary. Morning, Faisal. You just subscribed at tier 1 for 5 months on a row. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is just crazy. 5 months. I'm going to have to count up how many bits of work that we've done on stream so far. It's got to be getting close up to 10 or something like that, haven't we? Anyway, how are you all? Going to be starting on the flowers now, so let me just enlarge my reference picture so I can. Oh, that's not how you enlarge a reference picture. There we go. And I need to look at my pinks in the light. Right, morning, Hayley. How are you? Which pink is going to be the best pink to lay it down? I'm going to try this pink actually. So I'm going with the light purple pink, and we will see how we get on with this. This is just going to be my base colour. I don't think we've used much pinks so far. This is going to be interesting to see how well these blend and get on. So I hope you all had a good day yesterday. We had a fabulous day, I have to say. We went to a large sort of retail park area with the in-laws to take my mother-in-law for her to find something that she wanted for her birthday. And I thought it was going to be absolutely heaving with people because it's half term, and yeah, I just thought it was going to be really bad, but it wasn't that bad where we were. So we went into, I think mainly Anne wanted to shop in like Marks and Spencer's. Other retail stores are available, but that's where she wanted to go. And yeah, it was good. There was a nice variety of things. The only problem is that it was not suitable for people in wheelchairs. If you wanted to, as a wheelchair user, if you wanted to walk down the main pathways of the store, it was fine. There was plenty of room. But if you actually wanted to go in and look more closely at the clothes on all the different racks and go in and amongst the racks, there wasn't space for a wheelchair to pass. We were struggling so much that Nick ended up sort of lifting and moving racks to push them out of the way so that Anne could get to see the clothes that she actually wanted to look at. And so that wasn't very good. So no doubt Nick will be sending an email to lovely Marks and Sparks. But my mother-in-law found something that she wanted. She found 3 jumpers that she liked, and so we got her those for her birthday, so that was quite nice. Let me just take out this pencil mark actually, I can see. So what did you all get up to yesterday? Were you all on Minecraft with James? He seems to be quite Minecraft addicted at the moment. Right. So I really want the edge of this leaf to be stalk to be quite smooth. This flower goes up and over here. This goes quite a sharp line there. And that goes there. Right, okay. Oh, I did, I've done my Inktober for today. I'll just show you that before I put it up on the Discord channel. So today's prompt word was beast. So I did beast from Beauty and the Beast. So there's my beast for today. So I was quite happy with that, except for when I got over here to do this ear, it didn't quite fit on the page. So he's just a little bit off center. So I obviously got that a little bit weird, but yeah, quite happy with that. So there we go. So that was beast for today, and tomorrow the word is sparkle. So that will be interesting. I haven't decided whether to do like stars or whether like a diamond ring or something on like an old withered hand, or maybe a skeletal hand with a sparkling ring on it or something. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. Right, so I'm just going to go in a little bit deeper with this pink. I wonder if it's worth going all the way down where I've got this darker pink in the same colours. I think that actually might be a good idea. Oh, thanks, Faisal. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you actually. When we went to Marks and Sparks yesterday, Anne and David wanted to stop sort of like halfway through for like a cup of tea and a bite to eat, and so we went into their cafe, and they had this selection of, hang on, let me find my phone, I've got a picture of it. They had this selection of sandwiches and everything that you could buy, as well as hot food. But they had this, hang on, let me take all the details out. They had these little tiny cheese triangular sandwiches for children that were £3 each. But they were so small, they were like bite size, each of them. So here's a picture. That's a £2 coin for comparison. £3 for these tiny little cheerful cheesy triangles. So you haven't even got the full 2 slices of bread there. You've got 1.5 slices of bread that were literally 1 bite each. And we were just so surprised. And so Nick got his camera out and started taking a photo, and everyone just then started, because there was a huge queue, started commenting about the size of these tiny little cheesy triangles. I mean, I would imagine that they were perfect for really young kids, if you've got really young kids with you. But £3 I mean, you could almost get a whole meal deal for that for an adult. So that was crazy. But yeah, that was I was kind of shocked at that, to be honest, at the price of that. Right, I think what I am going to do is I'm going to go down here with this dark pink and just do outline all this area that's in the dark pink. Section here. Just there. And where does it go down at the bottom? So it comes around here. Okay. Right, let me just adjust my picture. I've been watching a really good series on Netflix. It's got Joanne Froggatt in it, and it's called Liar. It's really, really good. I'm on the last episode. I think it's, well, I hope it's the last episode. It's the part 6 anyway, so I'm assuming it's the last one. But it's really good if you get a chance to watch it. It's called Liar. Has anyone else seen it? Or if not, I advise you to watch it. It's really good. Oh, you've seen it? It's really good. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for like Joanne Froggatt as a character, because in Downton Abbey she gets raped, and then in this show she gets raped. It's like poor woman. 2 different shows and the same thing happens to her, but is this still on screen, this bit? Oh, there's 2 seasons. Is there? Oh, crikey. Okay. Let's just move this over a little bit. Right, so now I'm going to go in with this fuchsia pink. I wonder what type of flower this actually is that I'm drawing. I don't know if that's a bit too dark. don't know. Would there be a better colour? Let's try the Pink Madder Lake. This is called. I don't know if this is dark enough. I tell you, yesterday though, when we were driving home, we drove through the worst weather that we have driven in a very long time. Rain just suddenly came out of nowhere. One minute we were driving in beautiful blue skies. It was really hot in the car because of the way the sun was sort of coming in through the glass. And we could see up ahead that there were these very soft grey clouds, not anything that would make you think, oh, that's a rainstorm or anything. And then it just suddenly hit us. There was like this cloud burst or something. And it was like a monsoon. It just came down. It was so heavy. And Nick had got the windscreen wipers going on full. He slowed right down to like 30 miles an hour. And the windscreen wipers were on full, and it still could not cope with the deluge of water that was coming down out of the sky at us. And a car sort of went by us in the fast lane and kicked up a massive wave of water that hit the windscreen on top of what was already coming down. And it was so scary because just for a moment we couldn't see anything. Visibility was down to about 10 meters, if that. And we could just barely see the red lights of the car that was in front of us. It was so bad. It was such dangerous driving conditions. And as quickly as it began, it just suddenly cleared. And it was like, within 10 minutes, it was gone. And that was it. And it was like, what just happened? It was crazy. I was so relieved when the rain stopped, because in those 10 minutes, I got so anxious because I said to Nick, this is an accident waiting to happen. This is... Because some people had not slowed down. We'd slowed down for safety. And some people, like the car that was in the fast lane next to us, just carried on going at, whatever speed they were going at, but certainly double what we were doing. And it was just... I expected there to be accidents yesterday. I mean, luckily we didn't see any, we didn't have one. But, I mean, Nick even had to put on the fog lights for extra lighting to be seen. It was really quite scary. So I think it seems to be better to do this in lighter layers, because where I was going in with a bit more of a heavier hand up here, you can just see the sort of start and stop lines in the pencil markings, which I don't like. So I'm just going in with lighter shading just to sort of try and get the smoothness that's in the stalk of this flower. Does anyone know what kind of flower this is? I'd be interested to find out. Is it some sort of, I don't know, is it some sort of orchid? It might be. The bit that the bird is sitting on with those green bits coming out at the bottom, it just kind of looks like it might be an orchid. Has anyone got that, what's that plant app? Because you could maybe take a picture. Find out what the plant is. What would be the next best pink to use? I'm just going to go in with, would it be best to use this? No, not the salmon. No, because that's too, it's too orange of a colour. I'm going to go in with this fuchsia. Yeah, 5 months. It's crazy. That's almost half a year. Anyway, happy anniversary, everybody. This is definitely better going in with much lighter layers, but it just means it's going to take a bit of time to get up to that rich dark pink that I want. I might do one of those flowers up at the top. So does anybody have any good weekend plans? I think we're going to continue with the sort of painting and decorating that we started in the bathroom. Right, okay, now looking carefully, this bit has got a darker shadow here, which is obviously the underside of this flower. Morning, Artsman, how are you? The shadow sort of comes down here and out here slightly. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you are too. Just sort of trying to negotiate how to do this flower. I'm actually looking at this bloom that goes off to the side here, and it is mostly pink, but there is some sort of very soft, almost lavender aspects to it with the green underneath. So I think if I just do, I'm just going to use this light magenta just to get a base colour in here for this flower. Where does the green come in? So we have this section here, so that's kind of the bottom line of the pink. It's weird going from animals to flowers, because with animals, you know, whether it's a bird or a dog or whatever, you're looking at the texture. You're also trying to recreate a texture. And with a bird or a dog, you know, you have obviously feathers or fur or whatever, and that fur crisscrosses or the feathers crisscross, and they're layered, and you're trying to get that texture. Whereas with a flower, whether it's a stem or a petal, you're actually looking at something that's quite, in general, not all flowers obviously, but in general, something that's very, very smooth, that isn't layered. And so it's about trying to capture the smoothness of the flower as much as you're trying to capture the texture of a fur. So it's just slightly different thinking for me, and I'm just sort of trying to work out how to tackle that. Because those stop-start lines on the colouring almost imply a little bit of roughness or overlapping aspects to the stem, and there aren't any. So it's sort of trying to get my head round that aspect, really. Right, so there's some pink that comes down here and starts to blend into the green. So I'll put some green in as well. Let me just take away some of these markings. And I want a very, hang on, let me move these colours. I want a very soft, pale green. I wonder if it's worth going in with this earth green, just to see what that colour looks like. Actually, yeah, that's good to begin with. Oh, whoops. I just got them all to move. Needs to bring all that over one. Right, I need a little bit of white. Oh, no, ivory. Ivory. Thanks for the artist tag. No problem. I'm just sort of, I'm still learning what things mean on Twitch and everything. So when it comes to assigning roles and everything, I didn't know what it actually meant. So I was able to sort of go in and pick out people who are artists to add that. You need to start driving. I'm visiting relatives an hour drive away. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you have a lovely visit and drive safe. And I need just a slight, no, not that green. I think this leaf green, aptly named, is going to be where this dark shadow is going to be. It's always nice to get some indicator on a stream, means you're getting known there. I guess it does, yeah. I'm not going to go right up to the edge of this paper here. I always try and leave just a little bit of edging. I mean, if I didn't use this desk for anything else, I would actually have it these edges taped down so I could get a nice straight edge, but because this desk gets used for many things, I'd have to keep lifting the tape and lifting the piece, and so I can't do that. So I'm just sort of trying to imagine where my edge is. Right, that's that. Yeah, to make a border. Alright, now where's that darker? That goes there, so this comes here. Kind of like... Right, so this is still the light magenta. So again, lots of light pressure, because I don't want to create those stop-start lines. Right, and there is a slight, there's almost a slight orangey tinge just here, so I'm just going to use this orange glaze. It's just ever so slight, but it's there. Just going to grab the rose carmine. Just to mix that orange into the pink. This rose carmine has got quite a, I feel anyway, sort of like a waxy appearance to it. So even though these are oil-based pencils, this rose carmine just sort of helps soften this pink and just sort of push it into the paper slightly for me. Okay, I'm going to go back to this light magenta. Now on this flower there are like darker lines, which I will bring in and highlight with the white right at the end. I'll use my slice tool to get those markings, or the Tombow eraser. But for now it's just going to mean lots of layering, I'm afraid. So probably not the most interesting part, but Right, and I'm going to use, just put that back there. I mixed up my colours. Let's use this light purple pink. Let me just sharpen it. Don't want to go in too dark with the pink here on this flower because it's not that dark, and I need it to stand out in contrast to that darker stem. Tracing mark there. Need to keep working in this shadow. It just goes down this bit of stalk here. it's thicker at the top. Need a slightly deeper pink, so I'm wondering whether it's worth almost going for like this magenta colour with this shadow. Back in again with this light purple pink. It's trying to cover the grain of this paper as well, because I can just see where the tooth of the paper just sort of raises up between the colour, and it's just sort of trying to make sure it's all covered with the saturation of colour. We seem to be getting rid of those start-stop lines, so that's something. But there are certain patches on this that I've noticed in the last few drawings that we've done with this Bristol board that I use. is that there are just certain patches that sort of like here I can see one. You can't really see it very well on the screen, I don't think. But it almost looks like scaly rather than over here, which seems more smooth. And when I get these little scaly patches, they are very hard to saturate with the colour sometimes. And it almost looks like the paper has been wet and has then dried out and sort of stretched thin. It's the only way I can think of to describe it. And it just takes a lot more work just to sort of cover up those particular patches on the paper, which is kind of annoying. Just need a little bit of this magenta here on the edge. It's just a very thin dark line. A little bit of shadow here on the curl. I did think to get the smoothness whether to use the Zest-It blending solvent, but I don't want to get these scaly. It just, I don't know, sometimes I just feel it gives me like this scaly patch, and it makes that particular part of the picture shiny. Might come in handy if I was ever doing like a toad or real close-up detail on a snake scale or something, but not here where I really want smooth colour. Right, so there is quite a sort of distinct line here. If I can lift just a little bit of this pink. Yes, I can. Good. So I just realised I'd gone forward just a little bit too far with that pink, so I've just sort of pulled it back with the eraser. Right, now where was those, the soft green that I was using? I'm going to try this earth green yellowish. I think pink and green look so beautiful together, especially these really soft greens, just so nice. I'm just going to go over with the ivory again, just in these areas where it's blending. Just over the green as well. Right, okay. There are lots of straight lines on this, very fine lines that go along the ridges of the petal. So I don't mind that there are little lines on this shading, because I just think it actually works to its advantage for when I put in the darker lines later. I need, what is going to be the best pink here to really get that rich sort of cerise colour. I might just go back to the fuchsia, just sharpen it. And the darker I go on the stem, the darker I have to come back in with this shadow. So I'm using the magenta pencil again. I'm just going to take this fuchsia over that magenta just to sort of help darken it even more. And what I'm almost getting, when you create enough layers on the paper, you almost get a sort of burnished effect. Well, I'm hoping to get a burnished effect. And it's almost where it makes it shiny and creates that smooth look. It just requires a lot of levels, that's all. A lot of layers, rather, I should say. And it's always best to add a lot of layers, because if I'd just gone in with the pencil and really scrubbed quite hard on the paper to sort of go deep with like this fuchsia colour, I would have ended up with colouring lines so much it just wouldn't have looked the way I wanted it to have looked. You've got to remember this is an experiment for me as well, because I haven't done the flowers. I'm sort of working this out as I'm going along, and experimenting really, and not being afraid to experiment. It takes a long time, I appreciate. It's never going to be the fastest medium coloured pencil. But if you take your time, you can get some really stunning effects. I'm going to go in with the light purple pink. A little bit of pink that goes into this green. If I lay this green right alongside it, you get the best contrast then. Let's go in with the leaf green just to create that darker section. Leaf green again. I've got my blending pencil. Let me have a look. I'm just going to use this just to sort of push the colour into the paper and just sort of soften out some of the blends, because there's some ivory under there and it just sort of helps that mix and pull into one another. Just gives that green tint to where I've got the ivory. Good, 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 good. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the light purple pink. And then I might go in with some of those darker lines just to get some of that leaf shaping in there, so I can just see where it is that I'm going. Go in with this dark bit. Oh, dearie me. Right, okay. Just do another little quick layer. Just make sure I've covered all those bits where I can just see white trying to show through. I mean, just doing this this light layering, I can see the ridges of the tooth of the paper coming through. I'm so tempted to see whether using that blended solvent would actually work in this case or not, or whether I would regret it. I don't know. I don't know whether to be brave and go for it. We'll see. Right, I'm going to put in some of these darker lines. some of the lines sort of fade in and come out. Trying to keep a really smooth definition for these lines. Trying to bear in mind the curve of the petal. Trying to keep the same spacing between the lines. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Nick. Tea Fairy, thank you.
Come on, Rosie.
Rosie, what have you got? Come on,
Rosie,
out you go. Yes, it's lovely to see you, Rosie, but out you go. Go on, off you go. Oh, sorry, my dog wants a cuddle. She knows she shouldn't be in here, don't you? Go on, go with your dad. Biscuit. Promise of a biscuit gets around. Nick's just very kindly brought me a cup of tea. Thankfully, we have a dog that always works with a bit of bribery. You can always say biscuit or do you want a treat? And her little ears will pick up at the word. Right, let me just have a sip of tea. Treat is always the word. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so nice. Everybody have a drink. Right, I'm just going to use the, which one is this? The light purple pink, just to do a little bit of extra sort of shading, because there is some slight patchiness in this flower, is the best way to describe it. I do think I'm getting that smoothness that I'm looking for. Just hope that I can replicate it on all the other sort of stems as well. There is a slight, I'm just going to use this light magenta because there's almost a slight, very light purple aspect just to this sort of top part of the petal. That's not dark enough, that's not what I want. If I use this violet, just very light coating of violet. Flowers are hard, guys. I'm here to tell you here and now. Flowers are hard. When I watched Tevin Drake do, like, he did like a huge carnation, I think, recently. And he was working on it for, I don't know, about 3 months. This one flower head. And oh my gosh. The detail. I can only hope and pray I ever got that good one day. There, I think that purple added just what it needed. I'll have another slug of tea, hang on. Oh, it makes a good cup of tea, I must say. Right, I'm just going to use the blender just to rub that in. going to go back in with the fuchsia. Just to replace that shadow that I had. I think I'm not going to go in with the Blend It solvent. I'm going to just try and blend it by eye. So say someone was to have fallen asleep at the beginning, what might they have missed? That flowers are hard. That flowers are hard, Jamie. I mean, it's nice that you fell asleep, because, like, you know, I want the stream to be sort of relaxing and stuff. But yes, what you have missed was me rambling on about trying to get the texture, the smoothness of this flower, trying to get that right. But you haven't missed much progress on the drawing, because I'm really sort of taking my time to get the layering right. How was my shopping trip yesterday? Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. We managed to get Anne picked out 3 jumpers that she wanted. And the thing was that literally the day before, I had said to Nick, watch the second we walk into Marks and Spencer's, and we'll see something that she likes immediately, and she'll pick something, and then that'll be it. And that was exactly what happened. She saw something the second we walked in. She liked the style of one, so she picked it in 3 different colours. And then the rest of the time was literally spent manoeuvring our way around the store, moving the racking so that we could get by with a wheelchair. Right, I kind of think I'm happier with this now. Excuse me. Right, I need my little Tombow eraser. Let me just clean off the end of it, because I think the last time I used it was on blue, and I don't want to put blue onto this pink or this green. Right, okay. So what I'm doing now is just lifting some of the colour, because on this pink flower there is like, I don't know how to describe it, white bits. It's almost like there's a frost or something. Let me just get rid of that. Right, that's a little bit better. Let me have another sip of my tea. I have to drink it while it's hot. But I'm happy with this bit up here now, I think. I might add a little bit more saturation of colour later, but I think I'm going to come down and try and do this one now. Right. Let me just move some of these pencils. And then this becomes very pale green. It goes up here. Let me just get rid of this pencil mark. And then we have these dark green bits under here. Okay. Let me just mark them in. Okay. Just so I have an idea of whereabouts that is. This ivory at this end. Again, let me take out these pencil marks. Right, so it goes up about to where this foot is. And then it comes down slightly to here, and then to here. Okay. So I'm just going to go in with a very light layer of this, what colour green was this? The earth green yellowish. This is a nice soft green. That will give us a nice base colour. Base layer even. It's nice to have this flower bit done, and then the bird's not just floating in the middle of space, it'll actually be attached to something. And then I'm going to want this soft pink, almost here. Again, keeping very, very light layers. Don't want to go over those blue feathers in case I get, I suddenly make them purple by mixing this blue and this pink. There, the bird is on something. Right. I'll try and bring down these layers again. Staying as light as I can so as not to get those stop-start marks. And trying to keep the smooth edges of the stalk. It's nice not to have the bird sitting in, just sitting in space. We've grounded it. Did we come up with a name for this bird? Were we just calling it Blue? I can't remember. What did we come up with? Blue, yeah, okay. It's nice to have blue grounded. I think one day I'll have to do a bird that's sort of like in flight or something, so you can see like the spread of the feathers or something. I think that might be quite nice instead of doing a static bird, because like obviously blue is quite static. The kingfisher was static, sat on that tree perch. The flamingos were just looking at each other. And what's the other bird? The duck that we're doing, it's just the head, so it's just sort of like peering onto the page. So it might be quite nice one day, not for the next project, because I feel like we've done a lot of birds lately. Can't think why. It'll be nice to do like an action shot maybe. Maybe like an osprey coming in to take a fish out of the water or something. That might be cool. But definitely one of the hunting birds, like a hawk or a falcon or maybe an owl. I think that would be quite nice one day to do like a really graphic action shot. So confirmation of more birds. Well, yeah, eventually. I mean, I will want a change after we've done the lovebird and the duck. I think I will. I have always wanted to do that Dalmatian, so I might do the Dalmatian next, but we shall see. I mean, I enjoyed doing the cat, to be honest. I know you guys didn't like the cat. The cat went down very well on social media. Got the highest views and ratings of any of my other bits of art. Right, I'm just going to use the fuchsia so that we've got the same colours in this stalk all the way down. I need to get some magenta on the back part of this stalk. Right, so the shadow of the stalk is at the back of this part. Let me just think where this bit goes. It does actually go down there. Very thin line here. This light purple pink almost comes off to me as quite a Barbie pink. Let me move this over so you can see what I'm doing. So I hope over the weekend I'll be able to do a Valo stream at some point, so keep an eye out for that. We had terrible connection problems yesterday. I mean, Nick and I were out for most of the day, but when we got back we found out that Jared had struggled to get any connection all day. And he ended up having to sort of hardwire in so that he could play any game. And he was really annoyed by the time we got back because he was like been fighting the issue all day. I think Jack said he had to reboot the box twice. So yeah, it was thankfully, touch wood, we've not had any problems this morning. I did worry about it. especially when on Wednesday it sort of split the stream into two, which was really weird. Right, where's my... I just need to do... just like some little... light marks. What flower is it? I don't know. I don't know if it's an orchid or that's as far as I've got. An orchid. It kind of looks like an orchid to me, but just the way that like this green. Is there a... I don't know why I'm thinking bird of paradise. Is there a bird of paradise plant? For some reason that's ringing a bell with me, but I don't know if this is it. It can be your homework, Jamie, to find out what it is. So it's quite dark pink around the feet. And on the underside of the bird, it's very dark pink in shadow, so I can go in quite dark here. Sort of goes down to about here, the shadow. Yes, indeed. Where is Becca when we need her? She'd know. think I might just need to go on those claws and just make them a little bit darker, but let me just go in and do those claws darker, just because I need better definition. Better. That's better. Right. Okay. Don't want the pink to go over the very pale grey. But now I've got this pink next to the grey of their feet, I can actually see that the grey of the feet is tempered with a little bit of blue. So I need to go back and add something to those feet. Claws, talons, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just going to get just the sky blue, just because I can see. It's weird, when I was doing the feet on their own I couldn't see the blue, but now that I've actually drawn in the pink I can actually see, as I've gone down the shading, that there is actually blue in the feet. Just a hint. Which would make sense with it being a blue bird, but there we go. That's better. Right. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it today, chat. I think we've managed to get a decent amount done. Let me just, I'm sorry, I'm just putting away these pencils. So yeah, so we managed to get this bit of the stalk done, this part of the flower. we've carried the general idea of where this pink is, and we've started to put in this flower. So yeah, I'm really quite pleased now. The flowers coming in. It's starting to look really good, though I'm still not sure if I've exactly got the blend that I wanted, but I can always come back and touch that up at the end. So let me just move that out of the way so you can see the edge. So yeah, so blue is coming along. I think maybe another Friday, another 2 hours, we should be able to get this done, hopefully, and then we'll be looking at a new Friday project. So I'll have to decide what that's going to be. But thank you for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. A nice, quiet, chilled, relaxed one today. And what's that on my paper? There we go. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend. I will try and stream over the weekend. I don't know when. I'm not sure exactly when I can get the time. But if I don't, I will definitely see you on Monday. So have a great weekend, guys. Take care. Bye.